What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and on today's video I will show you how you can find the short-term trade for more than 20% of potential profits from scratch.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
So guys, if you don't know how to start to trade, how to choose the necessary stock in order to make some profits in the short and medium term perspective, I will show you exactly what you do in my step-by-step instruction. But before we dive deeper into this story, please subscribe to my channel, hit notification bell and hit the like button. This helps me a lot, and because of this you will not miss my next video. And I will continue to do this type of videos if this video will receive enough thumbs up and comments. So first of all, what should you do if you want to find this stock? You have to find the most relevant news that are driving the markets right now, and for this case just use for example Yahoo Finance and just read the titles. The roles Goldman Sachs played in the final days of SVB. Silicon Valley Bank committed one of the most elementary errors in banking, Larry Summers says. Next one, Charles Schwab fortune battered by SVB collapse. And so on and so forth. We have more mentions of Silicon Valley Bank on this list than we ever had. And this means the most relevant topic right now is the potential banking crisis. And let me show you that we have a lot of banks which trades was halted recently, and this is the list of more than 22 banks that had very harsh sell-offs and very huge volatility. We cannot rely on these stocks because if the trade will be halted, we will not be able to live for the trade, and it is not the case that we want to experience. So, let me show you another news. Sliding bank shares drag Wall Street down in choppy trade. And this means we have the entire banking system that fell down for a significant amount of its value. But we have to rely on the top 10 banks, because in these top 10 or top 8 banks we have the so-called promise from the US government that these banks are too big to fail. And this means in these banks, if we buy the shares of these banks, we might be on a relatively safer territory. And here is the list of these banks. It is JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, US Bancorp, PNC Financial Services, Truist Financial Corporation and Goldman Sachs. 8 banks right here. And you have to find these banks in TradingView, and right here you can see this list: JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citigroup and so on and so forth. So, and let's start one by one. First of all, on JP Morgan and Chase, you can see that from this recent swing high, and it had quite a good range of resistance, it retested it for 3 times. This asset lost about 10% to the lowest points right here. Next one, Bank of America. Right here, from this point, let me show you more thoroughly. From this point, during last several sessions, it lost about 19%. Quite good movement, almost 2 times higher than JP Morgan has. Next one, Citigroup. From this swing high to this swing low, 14%. Okay. Wells Fargo. From this top to this bottom, about 17 or 18%. Okay. USB Bank, US Bancorp. Let me show you that from its recent swing high to swing low, it lost about 28%. Very good movement. Next one, PNC Financial Service Group. From this point or from this point, it doesn't matter because it doesn't have major retracement since then. It lost about 23%. Next one, Truist Financial Corporation. Let me show you this movement from this point to this one. 39%. It is the leader right now. Next one, Goldman Sachs Group. It lost about 16%, but right here, as you can see, it had a decent retracement, and this means we have to measure this from this top to this bottom. And the last one, Morgan Stanley, it lost about 12% of its value. So why we are measuring from its swing high to swing low without major retracements? And here is why. If the asset lost a lot of its value without major retracements, we have very good chances to see this type of bounce to the upside that will unload the entire structure. And how we can catch this trade? So we switched to Truist Financial Corporation, and right here we have to find its recent price action that might be the range of support and resistance. For this case, I switched to daily time frame, and let me zoom out a little bit, and let me show you right here that this asset had a harsh sell-off during the COVID shutdowns, and its lowest point was at $24.3 roughly here, at almost $24, and right now we are approaching to the ranges, to several ranges of support. Definitely we might break all of these, and we might go even lower, but the probability of this price action, especially when this asset already lost from its swing high to current point about 40% of its value, this probability is not so high. And on top of that, as you can see, RSI is at extremely low levels. It is at right here, you can see it at 11.42 points. This means we are about to see this movement to the upside. And what should we do in order to catch this trade? Let's switch again to 4 hours time frame, and let me show you that we have bounced to the upside, and right now we are pretty much retesting the bottom of this price action right here. As you can see, we hit exactly the same range, and probably with the slightly unloaded RSI, we might see the next leg to the downside that will exceed this previous bottom, and that will establish a lower low on the price action. But at the same time, if RSI will not break this previous bottom, we will establish a bullish divergence, and this divergence is the pattern. When you can see higher lows on RSI, we have to see this movement to the downside, and lower lows on the price action. As you can see, we don't have this pattern yet, but it is very likely that this asset will form this pattern. And in this case, a little bit lower, you can start to accumulate your position by laddering your buys down, because nobody knows what will be the local bottom for this asset, and when will it have the trend reversal. This means from the ranges, let's switch again to daily time frame. This means from the ranges of let's say $30 all the way down to $24, you can accumulate your position, and you should put your stop loss slightly below this previous bottom that was set on March 16th, 2020. And because of this, we have decent chances to hit higher targets. And what will be the targets? Definitely, as long as we don't have the confirmation of the trend reversal, we cannot rely on any movements, and we cannot project the proper targets. But if we pull the Fibonacci retracement tool from its swing high to the potential level of the swing low, we don't know where it will have a trend reversal, but let's assume it will be here, and you will be able to adjust this tool as soon as this asset forms its trend reversal. And here we have two levels of 0.236 and 0.382, which implies, depending on your average price, and definitely you will not catch the entire bottom, but let's assume that your entry price will be somewhere in the middle, and if it reaches around $28 mark, from this point to the first price target, you might have about 10% of potential profit, and to the second target you might have about almost 20%. And because of this quite good potential gains, and because of the price action itself, because as you can see, it doesn't have green candles during this movement to the downside, this means it has to have a retracement, it has to have a bounce, and this bounce has a very high probability, and this is how you can find this type of trades, and this is how you can benefit from it. So I think from the technical standpoint, that's it for now. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up.